Hey there, it's Derek from Pacific Coast Auto, and we're here in Japan. And of all countries, Japan, for this H2 Hummer that we bought from auction for export over to Germany. Now, what a crazy vehicle. Not only a huge vehicle for Japan, but also put a 6-inch lift on there and 20-inch wheels, 38-inch tires. And wow, seems pretty inconvenient for Japan, but well, I don't even know what to say. This is pretty crazy. It's the first time we've sold a Hummer from auction, and oddly, these are pretty common in Japan. And so if you want to buy a Hummer, come buy one from Japan. So 55,000 original miles on this one. And so relatively low mileage, I would think. I got the auction sheet here simply because here's my level of eyesight. That's how tall it is. And usually I put it on the windshield, but it's all the way up there. Oh man, this thing is so crazy. So 7-liter V8 engine is hands down the biggest engine that we have ever exported. I think prior to this, maybe a 5.7 or something like that. But the coolant was a little bit low. You're going to want to check that. And then the oil looks to be okay. I'm going to flip this down. Actually, I think you use these handles. That's how I flipped it up. So I'm going to put the camera down while I flip that. Just pardon me. And then it has these things. And these are reminiscent of a 40 series Land Cruiser, has something similar to that. And it does have a latch for opening. And I think these are more for style than anything else, but they do secure it on there better. So very cool. Okay, quick look at it. And so this is going to be a post-purchase inspection video where we take a look at the condition and compare it to the auction inspection sheet. And I really have to show you this. Our company car, that's over here, it's also a little yellow. Well, it's not a 4x4, but it kind of looks like one. Size difference. I'm so small. Look at me, I'm huge. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that looks crazier in person as well. Because I'm almost eye to eye with the headlights. A regular H2, oh, I went to the wrong side. Yes, this is left-hand drive. Oh, and no side steps to get in. So a bit of a pain in the butt to try to get in. So engine running condition is fine. It has an aftermarket exhaust here. And so it's very burbly and noisy. You could hear it all the way down the street when it was coming in. It just came in today. Okay, here's the auction inspection sheet. I'm going to quickly translate this for you, and then I'm going to show you the condition of the car. So this is an auction grade 4 with an interior C. I can't say the price of this, but if you're interested, you can send us an email, and we'll tell you about how much these cost at auction. This is a private sale, and so I can't say the price that we paid. 55,765 miles, so it's an imported model. And this is funny for me too, because the AC is in Fahrenheit, and so I was trying to turn it down and it was at 60 degrees, and I was going, oh, I think I know why this is 60 degrees. For the rest of the world, 60 degrees is, I don't know, somewhere around 18 degrees Celsius? Yeah, I don't know. So it's an original yellow car. It's been lifted up 6-inch lift with a FabTech lift-up kit. This kit looks like it's a subframe drop. And you can see here, that's a custom part, has a differential cover on it, which is pretty cool. And then if you look at the sides here, the kit continues on down here for the lowering of the cross member, I guess. I'm not really sure how all of this works, but it looks like it was probably a pretty expensive kit. And then here in Japan, any sort of modification for a specialty vehicle like this is going to be really marked up in price. And so people spent a lot of money on this. They probably kept it in pretty good condition, and then when they go to sell it, you don't get any of your money back from any of the upgrades that you put into it. It's just the way that it works. So tires are a 38 by 15.5 by 20, and it's hard to believe. Take a look at this. The tires look tiny on it, but those are 20s. I mean, not the tires. I'm sorry, the wheels look tiny, but those are 20-inch wheels. And so you can, I guess, imagine the scale of it. So knobbly tires, they're Road Venture MT by Kumo. Looks like some of the tread is wearing down on it, but definitely still usable. Okay, the rest of the notes, it says HD Navi reverse camera, thank goodness. Total collection box, sunroof, Bose sound, various chrome parts added on it. This vehicle is in miles, not kilometers, and keyless entry. Now the report says airbag lamp is on, oil leak, front and rear bumpers have been painted, and they've been painted in this rock guard style paint. Actually, I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, various scratches and dents. The tires stick out past the fenders. That's important because that is not legal in Japan. And so typically in Japan, when a vehicle is modified to an illegal state like this, the police will never give you troubles, but you have to re-register your car every 2 years, and you definitely wouldn't be able to pass that with tires sticking out. So people will modify for 2 years, swap them back to other tires, and then change them for the street. And people don't really care that much about it. I would say modified cars cause very, very few accidents here in Japan, and so there's no public outrage like there would be in other countries. It has a belt squeal, you may have heard that with the engine. Windshield rock chip, seat wrinkled, interior dirty and wear. And then here's the body diagram. Everything on the body is in spick and span shape. The only thing is there's an A3 crack here, which is a large scratch and a crack. They actually painted this with an off-color paint too, and I'll show you that in a second. It says W2 here because it's been repainted, but the repaint looks like it's fine. So basically no scratches or dents on the car other than this area here. Okay, I'll just leave that there for now. And I'll do the once around. And I have to say, it's really weird. There are no springs in the front suspension. My first time seeing a Hummer. And I guess it's completely pneumatic suspension? I don't know. Kind of weird. I mean, this coming from somebody who owned a Mini, which is pneumatic suspension as well. And there were old Civics and Accords that had that. Still, on a vehicle this big, I was kind of expecting some tough springs in there. They have springs in the back. Okay, so yeah, I got to drive it up and down the street. It drives fine. The power steering is probably the belt that is squealing, and so the power steering can sometimes feel a little bit lumpy. And so change that belt and possibly check that pump. It's really, really odd vehicle. I'm so used to Japanese vehicles, and the purpose of many Japanese vehicles is to make the interior space as space efficient as possible for your exterior and for good fuel economy. And you know, people want to have small vehicles because roads in Japan are really tight. To give you an idea, usually I drive down this street here. I go down to the end of the street to turn vehicles around. I couldn't do it there. I couldn't do it where I normally do. I had to get out of this neighborhood in order to turn the vehicle around. But the Hummer is completely different. It's almost on purpose inefficient design in terms of the space that you get. And obviously the engine, 7 liter, is not going to be very good on gas. And so it's almost shocking to my Japanese sensibilities, having lived here for 13 years now. I can't get over it. It's so weird. And I guess like if you're used to Hummers and you're used to big American cars, like I went back to Canada this year, so many large vehicles in Canada, and it's the same in the States. And I guess people are just used to it, but it's shocking to me. Okay, so quickly show you the roof. Flat windshield, very similar to my own 4x4, which is not actually 4-wheel drive. I wish it was. Mirrors are huge, like twice the size of regular mirrors. Everything is just so big. It's like the everything's bigger in Texas type of vehicle. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Do people in Texas love these? Not sure. Okay, so here's the repainted back. Looks like they bonked something. Okay. These have been repainted. Looks like they were originally black. You can see the paint is chipped off of them. And if you're looking here, you can see some rust in this back bumper piece. And this has been added onto it, like a mirror. I don't know why you'd want to add a mirror, but maybe there was some rust underneath and that's what it's hiding. Okay, so did I show the exterior enough? I'm kind of getting confused by how strange this vehicle is. You want to load stuff, you have to lift it up to your chest height. They should put a little ladder. That would be so cool to have a little flip down ladder to get in, because as I said, it doesn't have a side step, and stepping into the car is quite difficult to do. They should absolutely have little flip down ladders. Okay, so hitch member here. not so much space in the back for a vehicle this big. It's maybe the same amount of space you get in a Land Cruiser, which by Japanese standards is still a very large vehicle, but this is a good 50% bigger than a Land Cruiser, if I were to anecdotally look at it. Very cool here, it has a tire inflator. So I guess you plug something into here, and then if your tire, like it doesn't have a spare tire, so if your tires go flat, you can inflate your tire with this. Has a 12-volt cigarette lighter thing in the back, a cup holder in the back, kind of odd because there are no seats back here. Are there supposed to be seats? I guess so, because there's a seat mounting thing, but only on one side, not on the other. I'm confused. And then some sort of a cabinet, or not cabinet, a little box there to put something. I don't really know. Okay, now these seats here fold Volkswagen Golf style. I'll show you when we get in there. Sounds American. Crash. Okay, so they go like this. Pull this, and that flips forward, and then this one here, I can only imagine flips down there. You can see the hinges here. And so that will give you more room in the back if you need the more room. Leather is very soft and very squishy. This is the type of leather that you only get out of an American style vehicle. Looks like that might be a little bit saggy. And so 5 seats in total in here. I can't open that. I must be missing something. AC vents here, and again the styling of the Hummer is like it's basically in your face. Look how big these are. They don't need to be that big, but they are for the styling. And I think this is an aftermarket wood trim package set that you can get for it. It doesn't look like it's original, but headphone jacks there, volume controls, seat heaters in the back, and one cigarette lighter adapter for each side. There's also 2 in the front, so that's a total of 5 cigarette lighter adapters in this vehicle. Kind of crazy. Oh, and this is broken. And it looks like this is really easy to break because it's made out of a very cheap material. And it looks like also there used to be LEDs that were mounted here, like a strip of LEDs. Okay. Here's my leg at the full 90 degrees. You have to go above 90 degrees in order to step in. So up we go. Okay. Now the gauges here have been changed to French. I don't know why somebody would do that. And then you can see there's miles per hour and kilometers per hour there in the gauge set. That could be important to somebody who's importing it where you need to have kilometers per hour on there. Okay, so it looks like you get locking dips. I don't know exactly how this setup works and how it compares to things like a Land Cruiser or Defender or G-Class, which all have triple locking diffs in some of the models. It looks like, I don't know. Look, there's a 4 up, there's a 4 down, and there's a 4 up. Both of these have locks on them. Maybe somebody can explain those to me. There's traction control, tow haul, and height control. Okay, and this, I guess this is OnStar. I've heard of it, I've never actually seen it. Don't have too many American vehicles that we actually export. This is annoying. It looks cool, but it's annoying because when you're sitting here, this is too close. And so it actually comes out a little bit more. There's a button that comes out once the vehicle's on, and it's just too big and chunky. And I think the interior is kind of like that. Like, I want more space in my interior. But I mean, you buy these vehicles for style. That's basically the reason you buy them. Okay. Excuse me. Armrests. Sunroof is big, and that works. All the power windows work. AC works. Actually, everything other than the power steering is a little bit bumpy sometimes. And yeah, it sounds so crazy. But I'm glad that the neighbors have all left today. They saw this thing pulling in, and they're like, I gotta leave. In fact, you could think this is like a tool to get your neighbors to move out if you don't like them. Just buy a Hummer. And they'll be like, I'm out of here. He's got a Hummer now. He's going to be noisy. Okay, well, goodbye, Hummer. See you in Germany, I guess. Yeah, cool. Alright, so that's the end of the video. If you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.